This is the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you stories from the peak to peak, in print, and online. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area.
Hello there, everybody. My name is Jamie Lammers, and welcome to Music of the Mountains, Where to Be and What to See, brought to you by the Mountaineer Podcast. On May 31st, I talked on the phone with local musician Jon Ridnell, who's just released a brand new album, Freak the Funk, under the artist name BlackDog. It's his first album name under BlackDog in many, many years. And Jon is incredibly excited to talk about the album and spread the word that it's out there. But first, a message from our sponsor. The 94th Central City Opera Festival opens June 27th. Since 1932, Central City Opera has been one of Colorado's favorite arts traditions, bringing world-class talent to a 19th century opera house in historic Central City. This summer, CCO is celebrating the 70th anniversary of our world premiere of The Ballad of Baby Doe. The show tells the scandalous historical love story of Silver Baron Horace Tabor, who left his wife Augusta for Baby Doe, a performance which rocked Denver society and today remains a staple of Colorado history. You can also catch The Marriage of Figaro, Masterclass, and CCO in concert this season, with a cast featuring talent from the Met, San Francisco Opera, and beyond. Tickets start at $32, and seats are going fast, so don't miss out. The festival runs June 27th through August 2nd. Visit centralcityopera.org to learn more. And now, our interview with Jon Ridnell.
So, do you mind just introducing yourself real quick?
I am Jon BlackDog Ridnell, guitarist, singer-songwriter. I live in Eldora, Colorado, and New Orleans.
Sweet. And you just came out with a brand new album of yours.
Yeah, it's the first BlackDog album in over 20 years. I've been doing New Family Dog with my son, Miles, for about 14 years now. And I did a couple Jon Ridnell albums. So this is the first one under BlackDog since probably 2002 or 3. And I've been spending a significant amount of time in New Orleans, and I figured I'd kind of go big and hire the best people I could down there. And we did a record in New Orleans at Jake Eckert's studio, Rhythm Shack Studios, a couple of years ago with New Family Dog, and I kind of put it together that he was able to get me George Porter and John Ridnell. Everybody knows George Porter Jr. He's a bass player from the Meters, foundational player in funk music and American music. So I got to work with him, and Johnny Vidakovich was the drummer. He's one of the great jazz drummers of our time. They're both in their late 70s. So what happened was I saw him do a gig with Eric Krasno at the Maple Leaf. I live a few blocks from the Maple Leaf Bar in New Orleans. And during Jazz Fest last year, Johnny and George did a gig with Eric Krasno. Because they're from kind of different schools. Johnny's really a jazz guy, and George is really a funk guy. But I saw him do a gig, and I was like, And I put it together that I could maybe make it happen, and I actually pulled it off by the skin of my teeth. So.
Fantastic. And what was the process of kind of bringing the album back and performing again as BlackDog and all that stuff?
Yeah, well, Miles, I did New Family Dog for a number of years with my son, and it's been great. We did a bunch of cool records. You can find them on YouTube and Spotify or whatever. But he's doing other stuff now. He's playing in a great bluegrass band, High Lonesome, and he's got to move on and do his thing, So I'm kind of going back to BlackDog. We still play. He plays. And we're billing all the shows this summer in Colorado as BlackDog just because I did the new record and blah, blah, blah. But Miles is playing most of the shows, so. But it's great coming back to Colorado. I love New Orleans. I miss New Orleans a lot. It went really well this year. They're playing the record on WWOZ, the big station down there. They had me on there, which was kind of, one of the biggest things that happened to me in my career, I think, I've been played on the radio before, but not WWOZ in New Orleans. It's like the greatest station that there is, so it's pretty cool development. I should probably mention the other players on the record. George did 5 out of the 8 tracks. James Singleton, great upright jazz bass. He plays everything, but he's a really great jazz player. Played the other 3 tracks. Luciano Last, my friend from Brazil, on keyboards and piano. And Jason Mingledorf on saxophone. Greg Hicks on trombone. Who's the trumpet player? Barney Floyd. Barney and Jason both play with Dr. John. I mean, these are pretty heavy people. And Whitney Aloysius on vocals. Yeah, it was really a great experience. I learned a ton. And to work with George and Johnny, the two of my heroes, was pretty amazing. So yeah, it was a really good experience. It's good to get it done. Like I said, it's kind of a miracle I pulled the whole thing off. It was crazy. But glad I did it.
Was there anything that kind of felt different as coming back to what is technically a solo project after doing New Family Dog with Miles for a long time?
It's interesting, you know. Miles has been my guy for a long time. He knows all of my tunes, you know, more than anybody. So it's been interesting, you know. It's a new thing. Especially in New Orleans, I'm playing with all different people, new people, you know, all the time. And it's, you know, I've been in Colorado 30 years. I came from New York City area, which was, you know, hard to get in the music business there, but I did it. And I've been here for 30 years, and I realized after I went to New Orleans, I got soft when I came to New Orleans because it's easy up here. The mountains, it's pretty laid back, Colorado, you know. And then New Orleans is super competitive, so it's been it's good for me. You know, it keeps me on my toes. Definitely been getting in shape down there as far as playing. They do long gigs, you know, you do 6-hour jazz gigs. I never did a 6-hour gig in my life till last December. Yeah, and then, you know, I'm realizing that's why their musicians in New Orleans are so great. They work a ton. They're just constantly playing. The level of competition is so high that you have to be good or you're not going to make it, you know. So it's been really good for me. I'm trying to get Miles to come down, but he's pretty comfortable up here. He's a Colorado kid, but it's going to happen. He'll come down eventually.
Yeah. What has been exciting about being able to just perform as BlackDog, probably share this new material with people, all that kind of stuff?
It's been cool, forcing me to do new stuff, and, you know, it's been hard to branch out away from my son, you know. We're kind of a dynamic duo. We do well together, and we harmonize together. We have that whole family sound, you know, which is really cool. So I miss him a lot. But the whole New Orleans thing has been great. I live in Eldora, and I quit skiing because I got some back problems, nerve problems. And I just started going down to New Orleans during the COVID era, basically all around the Gulf, but based in New Orleans. And now I'm doing 6 months and 6 months. And the music is, you know, the feel of the city and the music is creeping into my songwriting and composing and everything, which is really fun. I consider it a real learning experience being in New Orleans. It's just, there's so much music to learn and the history of everything. And it's where jazz came from, rhythm and blues came from. Basically led into rock and roll. So it's just the kind of foundation of American music. So learn all about that's been really great.
Absolutely. Is there anything in particular that you're hoping people will take away from any of the shows you have or any of the songs on the upcoming album, all that kind of stuff?
We did a few singles. They came out on Bent River Records. I'd like to thank Joe Michaels and Ruthie and Deborah, our publicist, because they've gotten the last several albums out there. There's a few New Family Dog. There's 3 or 4 New Family Dog albums on Bent River Records, and now this is the first one on the BlackDog. And he, you know, helps me out a lot. All the stuff that I would probably never do to get the stuff out there, he does, which is great. We're being submitted for a Grammy this year. We did with the last New Family Dog album as well, which was pretty cool. Shows this week, let's see, what am I doing? I don't even know. I'm playing the Vic in Salida on Friday. We do every Sunday playing jazz in Netherlands at Knotted Root Brewery, 5 to 7-ish. That's been going on for several years, and that's a lot of fun. That's with my son, and different people, different drummers, different horn players show up, so that's a lot of fun. Keeping jazz going in Ned. Yeah. And you can check BlackDog on Facebook. That's where I post my gigs. I don't really do a website or any of that stuff, but Facebook, if you want to get in contact, hit me up or check the dates. I always post the dates on there. So, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being able to jump in and talk about all this. This is great.
No problem. Anything to help get the music out there to the people. So.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much, Jon, for coming on board and joining us for the podcast. You can find BlackDog's new album, Freak the Funk, wherever you get your music. You can also find him on Facebook, and you can see him host Jazz Sundays during his time in Colorado every Sunday starting at 5 p.m. at Knotted Root Brewing, located at 250 North Caribou Street in Netherlands. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to this week's Music of the Mountains, Where to Be and What to See, brought to you by the Mountain Ear Podcast. I'll be back next week with another Music of the Mountains segment. And we'll be back very soon with another episode of the podcast. But in the meantime, be sure to subscribe to the Mountain Ear Podcast wherever you're listening now. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Podchaser, whichever your preferred listening place is. If you want to support the Mountain Ear and our efforts in local journalism, be sure to head to the mtnear.com and click on the subscribe button in the top right corner of our homepage, where you can get a print and/or digital subscription. You can also find a full archive of the Mountain Ear Podcast wherever you get your podcasts and on our homepage by scrolling down to Mountain Ear Media. There you'll also find our Facebook, our Instagram at mtn.ear, and our YouTube channel. Finally, if you have any questions or suggestions for the newspaper or the podcast, you can reach out to myself at media@themountaineer.com, my co-host Tyler Hickman at tyler@themountaineer.com, our editor-in-chief Barbara Hardt at info@themountaineer.com, and general inquiries at frontdesk@themountaineer.com. We'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. The song that you are currently listening to is called Freak the Funk. It's the opening and title track of the newest album from BlackDog. The artist Jon Ridnell, collaborating with other artists including George Porter Jr. and Johnny Vidakovich. You can listen to Freak the Funk wherever you get your music, and support Jon Ridnell's musical endeavors by following him on Facebook. You can also see him hosting Jazz Sundays during his time in Colorado at Knotted Root Brewing every Sunday, starting at 5 p.m.
I feel alive when I freak the funk. Feel alive when I freak the funk. Feel alive when I freak the funk. Freak that funk, y'all. Feel alive when I freak the funk. I feel alive when I freak the funk. Everything seemed different but the same. I can't tell if anything's changed or just the inside of my head. I can't find out tonight. I'll just keep drinking instead.